I'm here to share with you about the Korean school system. Hello everyone, this is Ngozi Precious from Nigeria. I'm here to share with you about the Korean school system. Number 1, school system. First, as you see this table, the Korean school system is divided into 6-year elementary schools, 3-year middle schools, 3-year high schools, and 2 to 4-year post-secondary programs. As you see the table, elementary school, middle school are compulsory in Korea. High school, university, college are optional in Korea. For elementary school, is grade 1 to 6 and is from 8 to 13 years old. For middle school, is grade 1 to 3 and is from 14 to 16 years old. For high school, is grade 1 to 3 and is from 17 to 19 years old. For university college, is 2 to 3 years. For university is 4 years. And there's first and second semester in Korean school system. For first semester is from March to July, and in first semester there's summer vacation, which is from July to August. Then for second semester is from September to December, and there is winter vacation in second semester, which is from December to February. And about semester, the school years consist of 2 semesters a year, with summer and winter vacations between the semesters. The specific schedule of the semester and vacation periods vary from school to school, also depending on the schools. There may be short-term vacations or discretionary closures. Number 2, elementary school admission documents. There are 2 steps when your child is applying to enroll in elementary school. First, you need to confirm with an education office or local community center to determine which elementary schools correspond to the applicant's address, and you have to visit the school in person and submit documents. A. Submission of documents to prove immigration, entry into and departure from the country, such as alien registration card or resident registration card. B. If number A is not available, submission of a lease agreement or other documents to confirm the proof of residence. C. If both numbers A and B are missing, submit ID or passport. Children's right to education in Korea is systematically guaranteed regardless of their qualifications for stay. But when your children transfer from a school abroad, you just need a certificate of enrollment and a transcript of the previous school that received the apostille confirmation. Besides, you have to prepare certificate of alien registration or certificate of entry and exit issued by local immigration and foreigners offices. Number 3, middle school admission and transferring. A. Enroll in middle school assigned by the school. B. Confirm with an education office or community center which middle school corresponds to the applicant's address, and the required documents for transferring are the same elementary school transfers. Number 4, the type of high schools. There are 3 types of high schools. First one is general high school. It is a school for students aiming to go to college after graduation. Second one is specialized high school. It is for students aiming to get a job after graduation. And the last one is special purpose high school. Students specializing in science, foreign languages, arts, and physical education attend this school. High school enrollment and transfers require the same documentation as elementary and middle school enrollment transfers. In Korea, high school is not considered to be compulsory education. If someone's having difficulty entering high school, she or he can find assistance from the local education office or immigrant support center. Number 5. University admission and transferring. To apply to Korean universities, in addition to high school grades, minimum topic Korean proficiency test scores depending on universities are required as a student entrance program for foreigners. Regarding the visa issue for recognized refugees or humanitarian status holders, an applicant can enter a university without changing your stay qualification. For a refugee applicant or an individual without a visa, the applicants must first leave the country and must receive a study abroad visa from the Korean embassy, then re-enter the country with the previously mentioned visa. As visa issuance may be denied, it is recommended to ask for assistance from the immigration support centers before leaving the country. Number 6. School class configuration. Classes are largely divided into regular and after-school classes. Regular classes run from Monday to Friday, from 4 to 7 classes a day, depending on the school level or grade. After-school regular classes, after-school programs are provided to students who wish to participate. After-school programs are subject to separate tuition and materials fees. The contents and costs of after-school programs vary from school to school. Number 7. Care classes in elementary schools. In elementary schools, care classes are operated for first and second graders. Care class is a child care program for dual-income families, low-income families, and single-parent families, and this program takes care of the children until 5 p.m. or even later. Since the priority of selection varies depending on the school or region, and the number of eligible students may be limited, please check with the school for eligibility. Number 8. Application for absenteeism and field trip. The school records attendance if 2/3 of the annual attendance days for school year are not met. Students are not able to move to the upper grade. In the case of family trips, visits to relatives, field trips, experience activities, etc., students should apply for field experience learning. A submission of an application for field experience learning for the principal's permission a week before the relevant date. Obtain a permission and upon return to class, submit a field experience learning report. The number of days allowed during the school year for field experience learning varies depending on the school, so please check with your homeroom teacher in advance. Number 9. The equipment available at school. There are the equipment available at school. A. Week class. Elementary, middle, and high schools have specialized counseling facilities called week class. If a child is having difficulty in school, including building friendships or determining career paths, he or she is invited to discuss these issues with a counselor in week class. B. School health centers. School health centers are also available for him or her who is suddenly sick or injured. You can also apply for school banking. Schools in Korea require all parents to register for school banking in the beginning of admission. Through school banking, the school withdraws hands on learning expenses, after school tuition and material fees, and for elementary schools, care classroom snacks, etc. From bank accounts registered by parents, the school requires parents' consent from form for the purpose and cost of withdrawal before school banking. Number 10. When school violence occurs. When a child is assaulted by another student at school, inform the homeroom teacher. If the situation is serious, schools may be required to hold a school violence countermeasures committee. When a child is subjected to violence by a teacher, inform the head of the school, vice principal, or principal. If the problem is not resolved from the school, parents may report it to the local Education Office. There is the obligation to report child abuse. Physical punishment of children can be child abuse, even as a means of discipline. If a teacher recognizes the situation of domestic violence and child abuse, he or she will be required to report it to related agencies. In addition, if investigations by related agencies reveal that parents have committed serious abuse, such as assaulting their children, protective measures and punishment for the parents may be mandated. Question and answers. Question 1. What should I do if I don't have the necessary documents for transferring to school? Answer. Documents such as lease agreements to prove residence can be submitted. If the school refuses to enroll the children because they do not know the regulations, ask for help from the competent education office, Multicultural Education Report Center, or nearby Immigrant Support Center. Question 2. My child is not good at Korean. Can he or she go to school? Answer. There are elementary or middle schools that provide special Korean class in each region. There are also entrusted educational institutions in regular schools who provide language programs from 6 months to a year that can help the children improve their Korean. For eligibility to these entrusted education institutions, the child must enter an elementary, middle, or high school near your address and receive a recommendation from the school. Question 3. My child has a disability. What options are available for him or her? A. Answer. Students with disabilities have the options to attend general schools with special classes or schools specifically catered for the disabled. Children with disabilities are subject to compulsory education not only in elementary and middle schools, but also in high schools. Therefore, schools cannot refuse admission. If your child's admission is denied, please inform the local education office or Immigrant Support Center for the situation and ask for assistance. Question number 4. I want my child to get after-school class support. What should I do? Answer. Recognized refugees can receive educational support, including after-school tuition, by receiving a recommendation letter for educational expenses from the immigration and foreign offices in the jurisdiction and submitting it to the school. If you apply a match and you are selected as the subject, you can get a refund on the after-school tuition fee you have already paid. In the case of humanitarian status holders or refugee applicants, they may be eligible for educational support by the recommendation of the principal. If support for educational expenses are required, including after-school tuition, please contact your child's homeroom teacher, vice principal, or principal. Thank you. Komasimida.